Good afternoon. Glad to hear that Spotify is doing the right thing. Really shocked they didn't cave yet. I am not shocked at all. Do you understand? In the end, it comes down to money. The CEO of Spotify, he had to talk to the minions at Spotify, and he had to tell them that he's very, very concerned, and he hears their complaints and their concerns, but we've decided the best course of action is to keep Joe Rogan. We don't want to silence him. It comes down to this. This is why you should be surprised, Pat, and you should know. Pat Duffy should know. Joe Rogan, every episode he puts out, he gets about, they're saying 11 million people checking out that episode. 11 million. You know how much money that is worth to Spotify? That's why they kept him. If it was a lower level podcaster that had the same controversy, the same issues, they would have got rid of him in a second. And they would have placated to stupid Joni Mitchell. Ugh. But don't be surprised, Pat. You know this game. It all comes down to the almighty dollar. And the fact is, Joe Rogan, if the numbers are true, 11 million people checking out his podcast. That's way more people that are watching any show on CNN or MSNBC or Fox. I mean, he's way above everybody. And because he's bringing in so much money, you know, you got the CEO doing the humana, placating to the minions at Spotify. But in the end, they weren't going to get rid of Joe Rogan. I was tricked. I was thinking the heat was getting a little too intense. And I was starting to think that maybe Joe was in trouble. But I am here to say I'm one of the rarities out there. I was wrong. And I should have known that. I got tricked for like a minute or two. Rogan could have bankrolled this into an absolutely insane deal if they did get rid of him. He'd easily be the richest broadcaster in history if he isn't already. I mean, at this point, Rogan wants to just, you know, if it's true he's making $100 million a year, I don't know if you could possibly need more than that in your life. I mean, what do you do with $100 million fucking dollars? Unless you want to build like a penis rocket and make believe you're sort of going into space, then I guess you'd want more money. But Rogan handled the whole controversy very, very well. But I don't think it's over. I think whoever's behind this, and I really believe it's some rich and powerful people out there are behind this. I think there's going to be another doozy that comes out about Rogan in the very, very near future, and then we'll see if he survives that as well. But I think he's good. I think he's good. Same shit happened to Howard Stern at SiriusXM. What was it? The blackface video, Howard saying the N-word himself, and SiriusXM, they weren't going to get rid of him. He makes too much fucking money, man. When you have one guy that is important to your company, your corporation, like Howard Stern, they're gonna figure it out. And I'm sure they sat down all their black employees at SiriusXM and they placated to them as well. But in the end, they're just minions. They're not bringing in the type of money that Howard Stern does. So they go, we hear your concerns, and we had a conversation with Howard. And then behind the scenes, they're like, did we do good? F those people. Howard is our whole company, and we got to protect them. And that's why they didn't get rid of Howard also, man. He makes too much effing money. But they've gotten rid of people at SiriusXM for far less because they weren't bringing in the big bucks. Stern once dismissed him as just the Fear Factor guy. Meanwhile, Rogan is more successful than Howard has been in at least 10 years. Dude, I put a video of that on my my Instagram Reels. I'm having a lot of fun. Hey, Instagram. I'm having a lot of fun with my Instagram Reels. And the one I put up, I think it was today, when I was at SiriusXM and I was running the Opie radio channel, and even when Anthony was still there, I was more or less running the channel way more than he was. Jesus, that needs to be said. And we were picking people to be on the channel on the weekends. And I'll say it again, famously, I was able to get Bill Burr. I'll say we were able to get Bill Burr, and we were able to get Joe Rogan. They were both heard on weekends on the Opie and Anthony channel at Sirius XM. And famously, both those guys came to me personally and needed a little something, nothing too crazy. I went to middle management, who went to Scott Greenstein, the big vice president of programming over at Sirius XM. Joe Rogan and Bill Burr at the time. This goes back a whole bunch of years. They wanted a little something, and basically Greenstein, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but basically said, we don't need Joe Rogan and we don't need Bill Burr. Greenstein should be fired for that. Rogan was on his platform. Bill Burr was on his platform. Those two guys are so effing huge, and they're stuck with Howard Stern. And I put that whole reel together. It's up on my Instagram. It's quick and easy and fast, and it takes a nice shot at Scott Greenstein over at SiriusXM. What dummies! They got to be kicking themselves in their head, because you got Howard Stern. I think he's 70 something. He works, I think, 3 days a month, something like that. Rogan, whatever you want to say about him, he's a workhorse. He still works hard. He does at least 4 or 5 podcasts a week, 2 to 3 hours at a time. He's doing way more material than Howard fucking Stern. He's bringing in 11 million people per episode. And I'm here to tell you, because I know some of the numbers at SiriusXM, Howard's not even bringing in 1 million. He's not even bringing in 1 million fucking listeners to his show at this point. So you think SiriusXM they're kicking themselves that the Rogan was on their platform and they let him fucking go? Are you kidding me? Of course they are. Man, I showed a little support for Rogan. Now I'm getting attacked left and right. I'm getting attacked left and right because I'm supporting Rogan. Because I'm a big fan of not canceling people. I'm also a big fan of not getting my medical advice from shows like Rogan's. I don't even care if he had the biggest expert on in the world. I would still do a deep dive and do my own material. So I'm a big fan of not canceling people, believe it or not. So I showed my support for Rogan, and now people are just they're attacking little old me. Are you kidding me? Me and Rogan don't even get along, but I'm still sticking up for the guy and supporting the guy, because I think it's the right thing to do here. I really, really believe that. Pat Duffy's back. Howard's fans are in the upper crust of the 18 to 54 demographic. He's not attracting new fans and is barely holding on to his existing ones. My 50-year-old mother-in-law is a diehard Stern fan. My association with O&A was a real sore subject when I met my wife, and even she can't stand him anymore. It's over. And SiriusXM, they never groomed anybody else to take over for Howard. They have nobody else. Nobody. They didn't even groom me and Anthony when we were sort of in their good graces. They didn't care about us. They always said we were the second most popular show at SiriusXM, but they weren't grooming anybody else to take over for Howard. And it's over. The guy barely fucking works, and his show sounds antiquated at this point because, as much as Howard made fun of the whole podcasting world, podcasting is king now. Howard lost me with his over-the-top paranoia to COVID and locking himself in the basement for the past 2 years. Not sure what he's doing now. Canceled him last year. He's still locked away. But that guy was locked away and paranoid of just basic germs. So he's got to be out of his mind. He's the type of guy that there's not enough money in the world to make him happy at all. But it doesn't matter in this day and age. If they want to take you out, anyone that does a radio show, a TV show, a podcast, they search long enough, they're going to find some sound bites of you just being a terrible person. I don't care who you are. If they want to get you, they will search your Twitter. They will search your past broadcasts. They will go to the extreme to find Just a sound clip. All you need is a sound clip to take someone out these days. That's it. Damn, Rogan needs Patrice to go on Fox and defend him. Rogan doesn't need anyone to defend him. He knows how much money he's bringing in for Spotify. The CEO, his hands are tied. And as long as he's making that much money for Spotify, he don't need nobody. He's just going to go and do his podcast and make stupid money for Spotify and everybody else. And that's what it comes down to. But as soon as like Rogan's podcast numbers drop, you know, then all of a sudden these corporations and companies, they become morally sound. Then you'll see their morality. Go F yourselves. So stupid. I thought he was cooked until Rumble offered him $100 million. That happened today. Yeah, Vincent Scaramuzzo. Yeah. So there's a company that's waiting in the wings, Rumble. So if Spotify says bye-bye to Rogan, he's got an offer for $100 million. I read that too. $100 million. I might make $100 today live streaming. And if I do, I will jump up and down with joy. With joy. Oh, the mighty have fallen. What? Probably shouldn't say this, but I think the Rogan thing is starting to calm down just a little bit. And Spotify is still backing him. And, you know, backing Rogan after the Planet of the Apes and the N-word montage. I don't know what else these people, whoever's behind this, I do feel like somebody's behind this because it looks pretty damn organized. And I'm not a conspiracy guy in general, but I don't know. When you're someone like Rogan, where you have a much bigger audience than anybody in mainstream media, that would make some people a bit pissed off. You know, there comes a point where you get too big, and then people want to take you out. But I can't imagine what else they have. You know, Spotify. Oh my God! Back in the day, if they had video of you and it was an N-word montage, you weren't surviving that. But it goes to my point. When you make so much money for a corporation and a company, well, look at it. You can do anything. I remember the old days. I mean, you know, we had our own controversy, and I could give you a little insight. Absolutely. There were times we got in a lot of trouble. And publicly, the company's like, you know, we find it despicable, but we also think we should not get rid of them and blah, blah, blah. And we talk to our employees, and we're showing that we care about their concerns and blah, blah, blah. That's what you do front and center, right? And then back in the back room in an office somewhere, they probably sat Rogan down. I'm not sure, obviously, or got him on the phone and said, don't worry about this at all. We got your back. Keep doing the show. We know you could do. And that's how that works. They'll tell the public and the rest of the employees what they need to hear. And then they'll tell the real money maker to just keep doing exactly what you're doing. And that's the reality of the situation, my friends.